This is the Oakley Sports Report, and I'm your host, Sean Doherty. As always, it is my pleasure to bring to you, the Bear Cub faithful, all your sports scores and news from the previous week, as well as what to expect from the week ahead. Once again, spring sports is in full swing, and there's a lot of action taking place with your SRJC Bear Cub. So let's get the show started by taking a trip to the tennis court and getting caught up with both men's and women's tennis. The women's tennis team has been on a roll as of late, winning 5 of their last 6, and entering the week have had a record of 8-2 overall, and 4-2 in the Big 8 conference schedule. The women's tennis team opened the week against American River on the 6th here at the JC and rolled to an 8-1 victory, and then 2 days later took on Sierra in Auburn and were defeated 7-2, but bounced back the following day to beat Saddleback in Indian Wells by a score of 7-2 in a non-conference match. Next week on the schedule for the Bear Cubs tennis team is a conference matchup against Diablo Valley on the 13th here at the JC if it's not rained out, and then Friday head to Reading to take on Shasta. The men's tennis team is looking to rebound after a tough week, losing both their matches to American River by a score of 8-1 and Sierra 5-3. On Tuesday, the men will take on Diablo Valley here, and then Friday we'll travel to Reading to take on Shasta, once again, if the games are not rained out. The Bear Cubs golf team continues to be a bright spot in the spring sports semester, and on Thursday won the 3rd Big 8 Conference golf tournament by 14 strokes. The Bear Cubs shot an overall score of 369, which was the second lowest total the golf team has shot this season. This week, the golf team heads into 2 more Big 8 Conference tournaments, with the first being Ripon on Tuesday the 13th, and the second 2 days later in Sacramento. However, with the rain, the tournament may be rescheduled for a later date. We will definitely keep you posted. On the baseball field, the Bear Cubs opened up their conference schedule last Tuesday with 3 games against Modesto. The Bear Cubs first took on Modesto here at the JC and were dropped by a score of 7-5. Then on Thursday, traveled down to Modesto to lose a close one 4-5. Then Saturday, both teams traveled back to the JC, and finally the Bear Cubs took down Modesto 5-4. This week, Tuesday's game against American River has been rained out, and if the rain continues to drop as it has been, most likely the Bear Cubs won't be playing another game this week. The Bear Cubs do take on American River for 3 games, and we'll let you know when those games are being rescheduled. The Bear Cubs are 9-5 overall this season and are 1-2 in conference play. The Bear Cubs softball team might be enjoying their rainout after last week's games. The Bear Cubs bats fell flat last week, losing their doubleheader against Sierra by the scores of 21-0 and then 10-0. It wasn't fun being outscored by 31 runs in 2 games. And this week, we're scheduled to take on Diablo Valley on the 13th and Delta on Saturday the 17th. But like the baseball team, if the weather proceeds, both games will be rained out and will be made up at a later time. On last week's show, we had on a guest Jonas Magana, who plays for the Santa Rosa Junior College intramural volleyball team. I heard from Jonas last night, and it's my pleasure to let you know that the team finished their regular season with a 13-1 record and locked up the #1 seed in the North Division of the NCV Division II playoffs. The Oakley Sports Report would like to wish the Thunder Bears good luck in their upcoming playoffs, and it will be our pleasure to updating you when we come back from spring break. That's all for this week's episode of the Oakley Sports Report. Thank you for joining me, Sean Doherty, your host. As always, it is my pleasure to spend a little time talking sports with the Bear Cub faithful. Next week is spring break for the junior college, and we'll be on break as well. But join us the following week because we'll have a lot to catch up as spring sports don't stop for spring break. As always, go Bear Cubs!